What's up, my adore babies, and today we're back with another video. And in today's video we're going to be reading secret confessionals. So basically, y'all, we're going to be reading, things that people never told anybody, but these are the secret confessionals. So y'all, the first secret confessional is they said, I saw something disturbing on my brother's phone. I'm lost. They said I was 16, was turning off my brother's phone, and the brother was 18. While he was asleep because the screen was still on, I accidentally saw that he had been watching adult entertainment, which didn't really shock me since we were both guys. When I looked closer, almost every video had incest in the title or theme. I didn't mean to see it, but now I can't stop thinking about it. I feel really uncomfortable and kind of disgusted. I don't know how to process this, or if I should tell someone. I don't want to start drama or get him in trouble, but this is really messed up in the head. I need advice. What should I do? First off, I don't really think that you were snooping through your brother's phone. I mean, he did leave it open, but I do think that when you saw his phone was open, I think that you should have just turned his phone off and faced it the other way. Him watching something inappropriate, I mean, that's just disgusting. But it's another level when he's watching brother and sister, mom, and that inappropriate stuff. It's just unacceptable, Like, honestly, I do think that you should tell someone, but I mean, he is 18, he's grown, but that is weird, so I think that you should. It don't matter if he's grown or not, you definitely should tell somebody what he's watching and see maybe if they get the site banned or something. But he don't need to be watching that. That's just weird and disturbing. That type of behavior could lead to something else in the future. That's all I'm saying. Okay, the next confession is, I did a bad thing to a middle school janitor as a teenager. When I was in middle school, one of the janitors got upset with me because I was sick and puking in the hallways. As he walked away muttering under his breath, I clearly heard him using the K-word slur for Jules. I decided to get revenge. I had some after school activities, so I was at school late every day until my parents picked me up. The main boys' bathroom was pretty much deserted after school, so I went in there and took a big poop in the urine, knowing this janitor would have to clean it up. I did this every day for 2 weeks. I got away with it. I'm sure it was really difficult for the guy to clean it every day. I never got caught. That is far, bro. That is way too far. Pooping in the freaking urine so the janitor can clean it up. I mean, that is a janitor's job, but purposely going out your way to poop in the urine that you pee in instead of going to the toilet is insane. I mean, I feel like the janitor would have deserved it if they personally did something to you, but they did say a slur, so that's understandable. I feel like that's a great get back. It's crazy. I like the way you think. I like to get backs too. So I'm a pranker, so it's valid. They should never said nothing racist if they didn't want to deal with the consequences. That's how I feel about the situation. So we're gonna be on to the next confession. What? Yo, no way, bro. I was gooning to my auntie's pictures in
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
her flip phone when I was 13. When I was 12 or 13, I ran off with my auntie's flip phone, locking myself in the room with it. I looked through her text messages and photo gallery for a good 10 minutes. I found her picture in my phone along with selfies and stuff. I couldn't help. I ended up to her pictures. Looking back at it, I knew it was wrong and I was petty and sick. It was my blood auntie. I feel like I don't deserve a family because of this. It's been effing with me since then. Nobody knew about it and still doesn't know. Okay. Your auntie's pictures. Your auntie's pictures. That is weird. And I'm glad that you realized that was weird as a 13-year-old, and I'm glad you realized it was disgusting. I'm glad you took accountability, because that is really far. Your blood auntie, to go out your way to get your auntie's phone to find inappropriate pictures, to do that is insane. Good thing you took accountability, and I don't think that you should blame yourself. I think that, you should just repent, and just never do it again. You knew it was wrong, you apologize, and that's that. Okay, so the next one is, a thing happened while me and my brother were drunk celebrating. I kind of freaked out. I got accepted into college. I worked really hard for my brother, helped me a lot preparing me, and spent so many hours tutoring me, calming me, and just being there for me. After I got the letter that I got accepted, I called him. He said we got to celebrate it, and we did. A very nice dinner. Then we got a few drinks, and then some more drinks, and we ended up in his apartment. It got a little blurry along the way, but I remember making out with him, and I woke up almost naked in his bed. The next morning, I didn't know if anything happened. I was having the worst hangover. I ended up getting home with difficulties and puking all day. It was miserable. After I started feeling sick, I started realizing what happened. Absolutely imagine the worst case scenario. But I just don't remember when I asked him. He doesn't remember either. It's just the fact that I don't know is killing me. Even the fact I kissed him. So, you got accepted into your dream college. Then you got drunk with your brother. Then you made out with your brother. And you don't remember what happened. He don't remember what happened. And you were naked. Personally, I hope that this is some type of, fake story. But if this is real, I feel like y'all should have not been alone to celebrate anyway. Maybe we could just say the scenario. Maybe you and your family wasn't cool. But I feel like it should be like a family setting where y'all all was at a dinner, drinking or whatever, having fun and stuff like that. But after, I don't know if you normally go to his apartment, but I mean, if you feel like you was already drunk, you could just ask your brother to drive you home, but y'all both was drunk, so. But I don't even know what to say on this situation. I feel like that's crazy, honestly. That is your brother. But I don't know how you could handle the situation differently. Maybe you should have had a family event. Y'all should have just not got that messed up. If y'all had to drive back home, so y'all could have went to separate houses, so y'all both would have been able to drive safely, Y'all should just not drunk so much, You could celebrate with wine, that's it, go watch your business. But overly celebrating, especially if you're not at your house already or at a safer place, or just anything. That's just crazy. I don't know how to respond to that situation. But yeah. Okay, y'all. So we're gonna find the next ones real quick, y'all. So just give me a second. Okay. So y'all, the next one is talking about uninformedly consented. I've done something terribly wrong. Oh, okay. When I was 14, I developed feelings for another boy. As a result, I started to speak to him more often. We quickly became friends and very close friends. Some of you may know what I'm talking about when I say groups of mates acting like they were gay with another for a laugh. For the shock factor of it all, well, this happened to me. I won't get into details. He started acting fruity towards me, likely because I never really participated in jokes like that. When they happened in our group prior, I wouldn't get out of his spot. So it became a game of chicken with him, trying to push my buttons to get to me. But giving my feelings towards him, I joined in with this joke. One day, he was around my house. It kind of escalated. To be honest, this is going to sound like utter BS from here, but whether you're reading this as a hypocrite or not, doesn't matter to me, as long as I can get some opinions. But yeah, this game of chicken got very physical and happened on a regular basis, especially when we were alone. Not outrageous activities, trying to be cruel. This went on for 3 years. The whole time it was a joke for a shock factor, I guess, but the whole time I went along with it, having the wrong motives. And this is where it gets alarming. I got my friend to ask him out for me in a dishonest way. He basically asked questions over a long period of time, trying to gather if he liked me without giving away that I liked him. It's safe to say, as a result, confidently saying he didn't like me. Knowing I went along with our joke, knowing he doesn't like me, I still participate in activities that, to be blunt, desire aroused forms. I knew it was wrong, but I wasn't strong enough to control myself and do what was right. He attended it all in the first place, so it wasn't my fault for going along with it, right? Well, that's what I told myself at the time anyways. Our friendship fell apart about a year later for other reasons. 18 at this point, we were just falling out over series or something. When it really started to hit me, when our friendship in the past and our messing around officially over, I looked back on it without my emotions in the driver's seat. Wow. I'm horrified at what I have done. We did borderline sexual things together, and had he known how I felt, he absolutely would have not done it with me. I took advantage of someone trying to act weird for a joke. I assaulted him. It was informal consent for years. It was disgustingly honest for a few months of pleasure. I tried therapy. Therapy was understanding, saying she was hesitant to call it assault, which was nice to hear at the moment. But I told her the story, and she said I had been out loud for the wrong time. It was pure disgusting. It felt like I was telling my story of crime. I just believe those foul actions are in mine. How can I be a good person knowing I truly couldn't control my action. I'm posting this here just to see what people think, what I've done. Be honest. Okay, he's just going on and 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 on. We're not gonna read all that. Honestly, I don't feel like he did anything wrong in this situation, only because they both were, you know, acting fruity with each other for a game. And I feel like if the boy felt uncomfortable or he didn't like it, you know, or, you know, it got out of hand, he could have communicated. He could have said, hey, I felt uncomfortable, and got out of hand. I don't feel like the boy is wrong in the situation, even though he enjoyed it and he felt like the boy was just playing. I feel like they both was kind of, you know, equally doing it to each other, you know. So technically, I don't think that he's wrong for what he was doing, you know. Personally, I wouldn't do that, but everybody's different, so, you know, I don't think he's wrong. At least he took accountability, you know, but I don't feel like he's wrong in the situation. Okay, so the next one is, I was asleep for 42 hours, woke up twice. Wow, oh my lord, dang. Okay, so my whole life has been like a effing fever dream. I resigned from my job a few months because I went through a lot of mental exhaustion, a car accident, and being extremely sick on top of that. Manager was supporting all of that and didn't really see me as a human. They did not support my decisions. Give myself a break before I started working somewhere else. And now I know I can't find a job anywhere. I constantly get rejected. I have zero money to my name, no car, no driver's license. I live with my parents now, becoming a super narcissist. I'm just incredibly drained from everything going on. Nothing I feel I can do about it. I don't have any friends, no partner. I have no support in my life. It's really effing painful. I can't remember the last time I had a hug from someone. I can't do the things I like anymore. Can't get my nails done, can't get my hair done, or fancy coffees I used to be able to do for myself, treat myself. I don't feel like myself anymore. I have quite feminine personality, so I like doing all the girl things. I'm trying my absolute best to apply to my dream job in the section. I spend time waking up hours applying for jobs drives me up the wall. The past few weeks, I've either slept through the entire day, slept through the entire night, or not slept for all days at a time. 2 nights ago, I slept for 32 hours. My mom came in my room to check on me. She thought I was coming down with some sort of sickness. I woke up once or twice, shutting my window because it was cold. I didn't want to do this anymore. I know where it starts. I don't know when the cycle will end. I completely gave up. I appreciate some nice words from you guys. Personally, this is really sad to hear, you know, that you got fired from your job. It is really hard to find a new job. It is exhausting, you know, looking on the sites, constantly scrolling through emails, not, you know, get, you know, accepted for the job. And it's good that you're trying to do something, you know. You can't knock yourself down. You're trying, and it's an amazing job that you are trying, you know. All you can do is try. And I don't think that you should give up. You should look at yourself and just realize, like, dang, you know, I've been doing a really good job. And, you know, it's also ways to look really nice, you know, not have to spend money, you know. You can also, you know, if you like to get your hair done, you know, you can try to watch natural videos, straighten your hair. You can, excuse me, you can always make yourself look nice even though you don't have any money. Like, straighten your hair, do natural styles, you know. Maybe, yeah, I mean, you don't have any friends, but, you know, if you ever need somebody to talk to, you know, you can always reach out to, you know, me or anybody else, you know. I'm sorry that you're going through this. I can really pray for you, and I hope everything gets better for you, honestly. And that's really sad to hear. But one thing I would just suggest you to do is just pray, continue trying, and just try to get outside a little bit. Try to walk around, you know, talk, maybe record videos, talking to yourself, listen to motivational speeches and stuff like that. But I'm really proud of you. I don't think that you should give up. I know it's hard out here, but just keep going, girl. But y'all, that's pretty much the end of our secret confessionals video, y'all. If y'all want me to do a part 2, comment down below if y'all want to hear some more confessions.